Hello, this is Reiki Master Angelia with Works of Hearts, a Reiki and Reiki 2 and Natural Complementary Healing Training Program, Part 9. And last time we left off on America's interest in complementary healthcare. So today we're starting on why hospitals like Reiki. Hospitals are undergoing major changes. They are experiencing a need to reduce costs and at the same time improve patient care. Under the old medical model based on expensive medication and technology, this posed an unsolvable dilemma. Not so with Reiki and other complementary modalities. Reiki requires no technology at all, and many of its practitioners offer their services for free. Reiki is therefore a very good way to improve care while cutting costs. Julie Motz, a Reiki healer, has worked with Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz, a noted cardiothoracic surgeon at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center in New York. Motz uses Reiki and other subtle energy techniques to balance the patient's energy during operations. She has assisted Dr. Oz in the operating room during open heart surgeries and heart transplants. Motz reports that none of the 11 heart patients so treated experienced the usual post-operative depression. The bypass patients had no post-operative pain or leg weakness. And the transplant patients experienced no organ rejection. An article in the Marin Independent Journal follows Motz's work at the Marin General Hospital in Marin County, California, just north of San Francisco. There, Metz has used subtle energy healing techniques with patients in the operating room. She makes a point, got to turn my page here, of communicating, caring, feelings, and positive thoughts to the patients. And has been given grants to work at mastectomy patients in particular. With mastectomy patients is what I imagine I should say. These typos. David Gullion, MD, an oncologist at Marin General, has stated, "I feel we need to do whatever is in our power to help the patient. We provide state-of-the-art medicine in our office, but healing is a multidimensional process. I endorse the idea that there is a potential healing that can take place utilizing energy." The Tucson Medical Center's Reiki Clinic. The Reiki Clinic at the Tucson Medical Center, TMC is what they call it, in Arizona has a team of Reiki practitioners who give Reiki to patients in their rooms. The program is administered by Sally Soderlund, RN, who is the Support Services Coordinator for Oncology. Arlene Siegel, who has been with the program from the beginning, runs the monthly support meetings for the Reiki volunteers. The TMC program started in May 1995. 3 Reiki masters invited members of the Tucson Reiki community to help them start a Reiki clinic, but lacked the funds for a location. And I've had a couple of locations where I did that, and hopefully I helped my clients. And that's something, if you take all these Reiki trainings, that you can open your own, Reiki clinic to heal and to train people. You have to have taken the master's class and got your master's certificate. And if you're taking these classes online, and you can prove to me that you took these classes online, I'm going to want like a little screenshot of, everything. Then I would be happy to provide you with a certificate. In the process of trying to solve this problem, they contacted Sandy Haywood, the hospital administrator at TMC, and offered to provide Reiki sessions for the hospital patients. Haywood had a supportive attitude toward complementary care, and it made it possible for the hospital Reiki program to get started. The program first began in the cancer care unit, but has since expanded to many other areas in the hospital. At first, the attending physician had to give permission for Reiki to be provided. This has changed, and now the attending nurse makes the request. Reiki sessions are given by two-person teams, as this creates a feeling of safety and confidence for both the patients and the practitioners. Patients must sign a consent form, and sessions are given in their rooms while they are in bed. It is up to the Reiki team to explain Reiki to each patient before giving the treatment. They have found this usually works best by first taking a few minutes to introduce themselves and get to know the patient. Then explain the work they do. They have found it best not to use the word Reiki at first when describing how they can help, but to talk about healing energy. They explain how healing energy exists in the body but is depleted when a person is sick. And they describe their work as helping to increase the patient's healing energy supply. Later, after trust has been gained, they explain more about the technique and that it is called Reiki. They also play special healing music during the Reiki session, and I always did during mine. Volunteers at the Reiki clinic have found it helpful not to use metaphysical terms when talking to patients or to hospital staff about Reiki, because some people, consider that new age, and, they don't think that there's science behind it. And of course there is, so, if you're going all new agey on them, they might not be open to what you're suggesting. Terms like aura, chakras, energy bodies, etc. tend to cause confusion and mistrust. It works better to explain Reiki in everyday terms by simply saying that touching is something everyone needs and enjoys. They also found that describing their work as Reiki treatments tend to create some fear, whereas calling them Reiki sessions worked much better, and that's why I always call them sessions. Unless I say I want to give you a treatment on your, neck or whatever. When new Reiki volunteers come in, Soderlund has had them fill out a detailed questionnaire and sign a release form. Volunteers must agree not to solicit Reiki sessions from the patients for treatment outside the hospital. They are then assigned to work, turn my page here, with an experienced two-person Reiki team in a practice they call shadowing. After 6 shadowing sessions, Soderlund goes over administrative procedures with them, giving information about how the hospital works and explaining how to interact with the hospital staff and the patients. Of course, that's at that particular hospital after they've, become a Reiki practitioner. They are also told how to deal with various issues that might arise. They then team up with another veteran volunteer or another new volunteer like themselves to form a new 2-person team. There are about 20 volunteers in the program now, with 2 to 4 giving treatments at any one time. Siegel runs monthly meetings for the Reiki volunteers. At the meetings, they set goals, share experiences, and go over policies such as dress code and other guidelines on conduct. They also do role-playing, where they develop new ways to respond to patients' questions or comments. At the meetings, they have developed a questionnaire to keep track of patients' progress after receiving Reiki. Siegel believes that each patient requires a unique response. Most of the patients are very sick. Some are dying. But they all respond to their conditions differently. Conditions treated at the Reiki clinic include cancer, pain, chronic conditions, and post-operative surgery. They also deal with childbirth. Siegel says that from the time we enter the patient's room, the patient's best interests are uppermost in our minds. We take time to establish rapport, listen to them describe their condition, and make them as comfortable as possible. Then, as we become channels for Reiki to do its work and the Reiki begins to flow, the real reason for our presence becomes apparent. She says people volunteer because of the feelings they have in their hearts and other spiritual experiences they receive by helping those in need. The main reason the program is successful is that the patients like Reiki and request it. The patients enjoy the sessions and request more after their first experience. Some have reported spiritual experiences. Nurses also report that Reiki has positive effects on their patients, including reduced pain, increased relaxation, beta sleep, better patient cooperation, and increased appetite. The program has been well received by other members of the hospital staff who sense the value of Reiki and accept that it is fulfilling an important aspect of hospital care. Reiki at Portsmouth Regional Hospital. Patricia Allen Dede is a RN and a Reiki master. She is the Assistant Director of Surgical Services at Portsmouth Regional Hospital in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. With the support of her Director, Jacqueline King, and CEO William Schuler, she has made Reiki services available to patients within the Surgical Services Department. This is one of the largest departments in the hospital and includes the operating room, central supply, and post-anesthesia care unit. The ambulatory care unit and the fourth floor where patients are admitted after surgery. During telephone interviews with pre-op patients, Reiki is offered along with many other services. If patients request it, Reiki is then incorporated into their admission the morning of the surgery. And an additional 15 to 20 minute session is given prior to their transport to the operating room. Reiki has also been done in the operating room, Portsmouth Regional Hospital. Turn my page here. Reiki sessions are given by 20 members of the hospital staff whom Patricia has trained in Reiki. These include RNs, physical therapists, technicians, and medical records and support staff. Reiki services began on April 1997, and 400 patients have received sessions to date, either pre- or post-operatively. It has been an extremely rewarding experience, Alan Dede says. To see Reiki embraced by such a diverse group of people and spread so far and wide by word of mouth in a positive light. Patients many times request a Reiki session based on the positive experience of one of their friends. It also has been very revealing to see how open-minded the older patient population is to try Reiki. In the hospital setting, Reiki is presented as a technique which reduces stress and promotes relaxation. Thereby enhancing the body's natural ability to heal itself. The Reiki practitioners do not add psychic readings or other New Age techniques to the Reiki sessions, but just do straight Reiki. Because of these boundaries and the positive results that have been demonstrated, Reiki has gained credibility with the physicians and other staff members. It is now being requested from other care areas of the hospital to treat anxiety, chronic pain, cancer, and other conditions. Alan Dede, with her partner Greta Coco, also manage a hospital-supported Reiki clinic through their business called Seacoast Complementary Care Incorporated. The clinic is open 2 days a week and staffed by 50 trained Reiki volunteers, half of whom come from the hospital staff and the rest from the local Reiki community. They usually have 13 to 17 Reiki tables in use at the clinic with 1 or 2 Reiki volunteers per table. The clinic treats a wide range of conditions including HIV, pain, and side effects from chemotherapy and radiation. Some patients are referred by hospital physicians, and some come by word of mouth from the local community. Got a leg itch here. They are charged with a nominal fee of $10 per session. The clinic is full each night and often has a waiting list. And a lot of people say, a lot of people do Reiki for free. Why do you charge, for Reiki? If you have a clinic, you have light bills, heat bills, air bills. You got to pay rent usually on this building unless you're just a multimillionaire and just did this yourself. So these Reiki practitioners do need to charge for Reiki if, they're, like I used to do house calls. I would come, but it cost me gas money. Often I would, have car maintenance, insurance. I would have to have something to eat or drink if you were in appointments, mealtime. I mean, Reiki practitioners are well within their rights to charge if it's costing them money to provide this service. And for a lot of people, it does. So, be aware of that when, people are charging for Reiki. It's because it's costing them money and they need to recoup that. $10 per client. They're not making money hand over fist charging $10 per client. And, I charge $25 for a Reiki session or, $20. It depended on the case. And, so, you got to make a living and you got to have gas to go do these things. So, don't hate on your Reiki practitioner if they're charging you money when you hear about these ones that aren't. Because most of them who aren't are, having like a meeting at a place and doing it, like once a week or month or whatever, or they're in the hospitals or doctor's office doing this. And sometimes the hospitals do pay these people to come do this. So, you can't, compare that and hate on people if they're charging for Reiki. The California Pacific Medical Center's Reiki program. The California Pacific Medical Center is one of the largest hospitals in Northern California. Its Health and Healing Clinic, a branch of the Institute of Health and Healing, provides care for both acute and chronic illness using a wide range of complementary care, including Reiki, Chinese medicine, I also use that on myself, hypnosis, biofeedback, acupuncture, homeopathy, herbal therapy, use that myself, nutritional therapy, and aromatherapy. The clinic has 6 treatment rooms and is currently staffed by 2 physicians, Mike Cantwell, MD, and Amy Saltzman, MD. Cantwell, a pediatrician specializing in infectious diseases, is also a Reiki master with training in nutritional therapy. Saltzman specializes in internal medicine and has training in mindfulness and meditation, acupuncture, and nutritional therapy. Other professionals are waiting to join the staff, including several physicians. So, doctors starting to realize there is a benefit, to natural and complementary healing. The doctors at the clinic work with the patients and their referring physicians to determine what complementary modalities will be appropriate for the patient. A detailed questionnaire designed to provide a holistic overview of the patient's condition is used to help decide the course of treatment. The questionnaire involves a broad range of subjects, including personal satisfaction with relationships, including friends and family, body image, job, I've got to turn the page here, career, and spirituality. The clinic is very popular and currently has a waiting list of more than 100 patients. Dr. Cantwell provides 1 to 3 hour long Reiki sessions, after which he assigns the patient to a Reiki 2 internist who continues to provide Reiki sessions outside the clinic. So as long as you've gotten to Reiki 2, you can practice Reiki. You just can't train and attune others in Reiki. So keep that in mind if you're doing any type of body work or anything and you want to add Reiki. As long as you get through Reiki 2, you can add Reiki. But you have to remember you're not a Reiki master, so you're not supposed to teach others until you become a Reiki master. Patients who continue to respond well to the Reiki treatments are referred for Reiki training, so they can do Reiki self-treatments on a continuing basis. And I certainly do mine on myself. Dr. Cantwell states, I have found Reiki to be useful in the treatment of acute illnesses such as musculoskeletal injury and pain, headache, acute infections, and asthma. Reiki is also useful for patients with chronic illnesses, especially those associated with chronic pain. At this point, Reiki is not covered by insurance at the clinic. But Dr. Cantwell is conducting clinical research in the hope of convincing insurance companies that complementary care is viable and will save them money. That would be great for all of us natural and complementary care providers. More MDs and nurses practicing Reiki. Mary Lee Rodga is a Reiki master and an RN who has the job classification of nurse healer because of her Reiki skills. She teaches Reiki classes to nurses and other hospital staff at the University of Michigan Hospital in Ann Arbor. She also uses Reiki with most of her patients. She has found Reiki to produce the best results in reducing pain and stress, improving circulation, and eliminating nerve blocks. Reiki Master Nancy Eos, MD, was a member of the teaching staff of the University of Michigan Medical School. As emergency room physician, I got a little bug flying around here. That's what I was looking at, like what? She treated patients with Reiki along with standard medical procedures. I can't imagine practicing medicine without Reiki, Eos says. With Reiki, all I have to do is touch a person. Things happen that don't usually happen. And a lot of Reiki, you don't touch the person. It just depends on what you're doing. Pain lessens in intensity. Rashes fade. Wheezing gives way to breathing clearly. Angry people begin to joke with me. In her book, Reiki and Medicine, she includes descriptions of using Reiki to treat trauma, heart attack, got an ear itch here, respiratory problems, CPR, child abuse, allergic reactions, and other emergency room situations. Dr. Eos now maintains a family practice at Grass Lake Medical Center and is an administrating room physician at Foot Hospital in Jackson, Michigan, where she continues to use Reiki in conjunction with standard medical procedures. According to Dr. Eos, there are at least 5 other physicians at Foot Hospital who have Reiki training along with many nurses. Libby Barnett and Maggie Chambers are Reiki masters who have treated patients and given Reiki training to staff members in over a dozen New England hospitals. They teach Reiki as complementary care, and the hospital staff they have trained add Reiki to the regular medical procedures they administer to their patients. So see, the Northeast is always ahead of the Southeast in, becoming more attuned to things and being willing to change. The South and the Southeast is not so good with change. It's a very traditional area, and they just don't like, anything different. But, that holds them back, honestly. They teach Reiki as complementary care, and the hospital staff they have trained add Reiki to the regular medical procedures they administer to their patients. The book, Reiki Energy Medicine, describes their experiences. One of the interesting things they recommend is creating hospital Reiki rooms, staffed by volunteers, where patients as well as hospital staff can come to receive Reiki treatments. Bettina Payton, MD, is one of the physicians Libby and Maggie have trained, and they state Reiki's utter simplicity, coupled with its potentially, I'm going to turn my page here, powerful effects, compels us to acknowledge the concept of universal healing energy. Anyone interested in bringing Reiki into hospitals is encouraged to do so. And you just call your local hospitals, say, hey, I'm trained in Reiki. I was wondering if I could come in and do Reiki on some patients. The worst thing they can do is say no. The hospital setting where there are so many people in real need is a wonderful place to offer Reiki. The experiences and recommendations in this article should provide a good starting point for developing Reiki programs in your area. There's just some endnotes here that, I'm not going to get into. It's basically some other resources that this recommended. Okay. Moving on, the energy centers. We touched on these a little earlier. We'll get into it a little more. Survey of significant attributes. The base center. Its element is earth. Its body part is the genital area, or the, what some people call the taint area. The color is red. The stones are jasper, agate, hematite, garnet, and ruby. Number 2, the sacral chakra. Its element is water. Its body part is the abdomen and adrenal glands. Its color is orange. And its stone is carnelian. Number 3 is the solar plexus center. Its element is fire. Its body part is the belly or digestive tract. Its color is yellow. Its stones are yellow topaz, citrine, amber, yellow tiger's eye, rutile quartz, yellow tourmaline. The heart center. Its element is earth, water, fire, and air. Its body part is the heart and surrounding area. Its color is green and pink. Its stones are chrysocolla, chrysoprase, chrysoberyl, chrysolite, moss agate, malachite, jade, emerald, calcite, and tourmaline. Number 5 is the throat chakra. Its element is air. Its body part is below the larynx. Its color is light blue. Its stones are turquoise, I can never pronounce this word, chalcedony, blue topaz, aquamarine, fluorite, light and dark indicolite or blue tourmaline, pyrite, opal, moonstone, and pearl. Number 6 is the inner eye center. Its body part is the forehead, right here where your third eye is. Its color is dark blue. Its stones are sodalite, blue tiger eye, lapis lazuli, azurite, sapphire, and rock crystal. Number 7 is the crown center. Its body part is the top of your head. Its color is violet. Its stones are amethyst and diamond. The hand center. The body part is palms of the hand. Its stone is rock crystal. The foot center. The body part is center of the soles of your feet. Its stones are snowflake obsidian and tourmaline quartz. And some, like I said, there are other energy centers that a lot of people don't talk about. There's actually the Bindu, which is at the back of your head also. Transformational Energy Institute Channeling Energies. The purpose. Practicing this exercise regularly is the easiest and most efficient way to clear energy blocks from your chakras and energy bodies. If possible, do this exercise 2 times a day or more often if required. Instructions. Visualize. Hear a sense of violet light under your feet. So you can close your eyes and visualize a violet light under your feet. This violet light will transmute all negativity as it is pushed from the body. Bring in cleansing energy through your crown chakra by asking the universe or God to provide it for you. Have it flow through your body at the highest volume you can handle. If you cannot feel it, visualize a volume knob and then turn up the volume until you can feel it, because a lot of this, mind over matter. Cleansing energy is a very dense, thick energy that pushes density from the body. Practice awareness of how hard this energy is flowing and check it throughout the exercise, turning it up as needed. All right, and that's all for today. And I hope you found this educational and informational. And if you would like to help support this Reiki healing outreach, I will leave the link for you to be able to do that. So that was lesson 9. Until next time, see ya.